Welcome back. Now that you've met this year's Smart 50, it's time to begin to unveil the three specialty category award winners, one each for innovation and sustainability. Selecting these three honorees from such an amazing group of Smart 50 winners wasn't easy. To unveil the first award for innovation, please welcome Jane Pfeiffer from Clark Schaefer Hackett.
Thank you, Chris. On behalf of Clark Schaefer Hackett, we're excited to be able to present this year's Innovation Award. That's because at Clark Schaefer Hackett, our professionals are curious, embrace challenges, and persist even in the face of setbacks. We are problem solvers that combine our expertise with cutting-edge technology to help our clients set goals and succeed. So what is innovation? At its core, innovation is a culture that fosters the creation of products and services. Sometimes this is a breakthrough new idea. Other times it's simply finding a new way to do an old thing. And that's exactly what this year's honoree has done. Not only has this executive led his organization to the forefront of national prominence, but also never stops thinking about ways to better connect with the community and energize their passion for science. So congratulations to Frederick Bertley, CEO of Cosi. Let's learn a bit about what he's been doing. Prior to COVID, 75 and 80% of Cosi's revenue came from ticket sales. That changed after Cosi, like many of its fellow institutions, was forced to shut down due to the pandemic. But that didn't deter Frederick. He developed Cosi Connects, which provides digital content. He turned Cosi vehicles into mobile Wi-Fi stations. His team distributed Cosi and box programs to less affluent communities to keep them connected, which turned out to be more than 50,000 people staying connected. He partnered with a local television station to launch a primetime TV show, and in the process, Cosi was named the #1 museum in the United States for the second consecutive year. Congratulations, Frederick. Congratulations again, Frederick. It's so great that we have this opportunity to talk with you today.
Jane, it's such an honor to be selected as one of the Ohio Smart 50 Awards. So thank you so much for picking myself and Cosi. I truly appreciate it.
We're happy to have you. So just have a few questions for you. When the world shut down, how quickly were you able to evaluate the situation and communicate what was happening to your team and your constituency?
Yeah, that's a tough question. The world shut down, specifically for Cosi. We shut our doors on March 13th of 2020. And we notified the team on March 3rd. Well, we notified the team actually before to let them know that we're shutting down. We're shutting down for business. And then from that point on, we continued to communicate with the team just to let them know exactly how we're thinking about moving forward, what the steps are. Transparency was critical. So really, from the day we closed our doors, we were in regular contact with the team.
Yeah, that certainly would be important. So how did the different ideas to take Cosi public manifest themselves? And how long did it take you to roll that out, especially under those circumstances?
Yeah, so just to give you a sense of the scope, we have regular kind of differentiated department meetings, but we'd have an all team once a year. So literally only one time a year would we meet with the entire team in person, but that was a full day, personal development, all kinds of stuff. But then we had, of course, other meetings throughout the year. When the pandemic hit, we shut our doors. We literally met with the team every week as a full team, and then of course many sub meetings before that. So every week they were hearing details, where we are, our finances, our structure, everything. And so that allowed us to have great conversations around, well, what do we do next? How are we going to innovate out of this? How can we, the classic P word there we talks about, how can we pivot to ensure that Cosi has a life and a great life well beyond the pandemic? And so, we started ideating on all kinds of fronts, and in a matter of a few weeks, we started some programs that grew into a much bigger program, specifically leveraging the internet and the web, like everybody else. That was a crowded space. And then specifically how we could do hands-on experiences. So in short, we wanted to make sure the public had access to this entity called Cosi, independent of the fact that you couldn't come to our building. And that's how we transformed science learning for the state and the region. And that's why we're so excited to be here with you all today.
Great. So when you say the whole team, how many people would be on those meetings?
So, we had a 150 plus staff. prior to the pandemic. We were scaled down to about 50 or so full-time because of this. So dramatic changes in population density, dramatic headcount change, something that's still tough for me to do today, even when we opened. Of course, we called many people back, but not yet everyone. So we had a much smaller staff. We talked about having a small and mighty staff, and Jane, everybody understood it wasn't about their job or their situation. It was about the sanctity and support for this great entity called the Center of Science and Industry. And we all just worked together and did some incredible things.
That's great. Sounds like incredible teamwork. So innovation remains at the forefront of what you do. What's your process for identifying new opportunities, and how long does it usually take you to develop and implement those opportunities?
That's a great question. We had a leg up in terms of how we got out of this pandemic. And let me be clear, neither myself nor anybody else predicted the pandemic was coming. But in November of 2018, our board supported our new strategic plan that we put into place January 1 of 2019. And in that strategic plan, Jane, the fundamental thesis was, what could Cosi be if it was bricks and mortar independent? And so we had this in our DNA, thinking, okay, we love people coming to Cosi, of course, that's our capsule experience. But with these devices, and people having access to infinite information at their fingertips, museum attendance in general across the country has been fading, and we wanted to make sure we were still relevant if it turned out that people couldn't physically come to our building. So we had our leg up. So fast forward, when the pandemic hit, we had already been incubating and thinking about differentiated programs that were independent of our physical building. And that's why we were able to hit the ground quickly, run, turn things around, get product out there, get content out there, and have that impact in, literally 1 month after we closed our doors.
Wow, that's amazing. So that really helped you to roll things out in such a quick manner. So I have one last question for you, Frederick. So what's next for Cosi?
Well, I'm a hopeful optimist. I'm a glass half full person. And I tried to look for nuggets during this horrible pandemic process that were things that we could hold on to, in fact, even look at as a silver lining. And one of those nuggets, and I've shared this with colleagues, and it's true probably with many of the winners here, that much of that catalytic energy that forced us to pivot quickly, ideate, come out with real stuff that was relevant, that allowed us to get funding to sustain ourselves. Those the two things. They showed how we could think really quickly and be agile and ideate to the next level and do something real that's meaningful. And two, create new kinds of things and new kinds of lines of revenue, new kinds of products that even when we get through the pandemic, they'll still be viable. And so that's where we really are now, where it was, a terrible thing to go through the pandemic, but without question, our agility, our ability to create, innovate very quickly, and roll out impactful programs and products, that's sustained, and that's with us now, and that will forever be that silver lining, if you will, to a really dark cloud called the pandemic.
Yeah, and it's helped you bring your experience to so many more people than just those that could come to the brick and mortar building. So that's amazing.
Yeah, and to that, I do want to say, look, we love Central Ohio, we love Ohio, but, through the pandemic, we are now in 6 different states outside of Ohio and trying to, hit the other 44. So we're really expanding the brand of Cosi. And I want to finish with, we won the Smart 50 award. I'm so honored to be here. We also won 2 years in a row, back-to-back, the #1 science museum in the nation by USA Today. And that was 1 year prior to the pandemic. And then through the pandemic, they picked us again because they saw what we were doing beyond Columbus, beyond Central Ohio, for the country. And they're like, this is pretty cool stuff. We got to recognize it. So imagine that. Talk about a silver lining. But again, we won this prestigious award along with the Smart 50. So couldn't be happier. And thanks for your generous support and recognition.
Well, congratulations again. Congratulations not only for the Innovation Award, but also for winning the USA Today Museum Award. That's amazing and such a gift to the city, really, for all of us. So thank you so much for your time, and good luck to you and to everyone else at Cosi.
You got it. And like we like to say at Cosi, we're all in this together. So thank you and all the colleagues who won. I appreciate you all and the great work you do.
Congrats, Frederick. To present the award for impact, please welcome Matt Przinski of Robert Half.
Thanks, Chris. We at Robert Half are honored to help present the Smart 50 Awards program, and more specifically, the Impact Specialty Award. Community impact's always been something that's been important to Robert Half, and this year no more than any other. We've really focused on helping job seekers connect with job opportunities with our clients as they navigate the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, when you think of impact, you instantly think about an organization that generates lots of jobs or increases revenue, or possibly even an individual or organization that takes a more philanthropic approach to the community. The Impact Award really can recognize individuals and organizations in many different ways. But I'm proud to announce this year's Impact Award, which goes to the leader of an organization who's really had an immense impact on the community and those around him. And this year's award goes to Brian Yeager, CEO and president of the Champion Companies. As we've previously mentioned, Brian's ability to effectively build and lead a savvy organization includes transforming Champion into a market-leading multifamily real estate investment, development, and management firm. But it's really been his work in the community that sets him and Champion apart. Brian led the mission to construct a new Boys and Girls Club in the Milo Grogan district of Columbus. The project began late in 2019, right before the COVID-19 pandemic hit. But they persevered, and they anticipate breaking ground late this year, and they're expected to be complete and open in the fall of this year. Under his leadership, they raised $13.5 million during COVID to fund the project, and Brian helped to secure more than 50 partners, starting with providing a lead gift of $2.5 million from the Champion Companies. It's this type of commitment to the community that truly demonstrates the impact that he and his company have. Congratulations, Brian. Now let's learn more about how Brian was able to make this new Milo Grogan Boys and Girls Club facility happen. Brian, thanks for joining us. Great to see you again, and would love to talk to you a little bit more about Champion's involvement with the Boys and Girls Club at Milo Grogan.
Absolutely, Matt. Great to be with you today, and excited to talk further about it.
Great. Well, let's just get started. So Brian, Champion provided the lead gift for the Milo Grogan Boys and Girls Club. It was $2.5 million. Can you talk about what spurred the idea for this project?
Yeah, sure. The Champion Companies, we're a very passionate group when it comes to our philanthropic endeavors. We're a young company. We've been around 10 years, own and manage around 5,000 unit market rate apartments in Central Ohio, have a really award-winning culture, and love the community that we're in, and really feel a responsibility to do big things in our community, to help those in less fortunate positions, and to move the needle for the city of Columbus. We played a charity basketball game actually down at the Boys and Girls Club. It was my first experience there a few years ago. And I saw a lot of blight and a need for change that was serving so many underprivileged children in Central Ohio. And this building was 80 to 90 years old. 80 to 90 years old, and they had plumbing that wasn't working, and they had roof issues. So what really was spurned as a renovation opportunity kind of turned into a big discussion about doing something game-changing for the community and these hundreds of kids that it serves. So we knew that we had a big fundraising goal that we would need to hit. We knew that we would need to enlist a greater community to achieve this goal. But we thought stepping up with a lead gift of $2.5 million would really let the community know the significance it meant to our organization, myself and my sister, Michelle, my partner personally, and felt that would be a great leadership step in where we need to go to get to the goal to build this brand new club for many children in Central Ohio.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you for your donation there. It's very, very impressive, very generous. Let's talk a little bit more about the fundraising effort. So very impressive effort to raise a total of almost $13 million for the project. What all did that entail?
It entailed a lot. It entailed a lot of meetings, a lot of presentations, trying to excite and motivate the greater Columbus community. And I must say we did this during COVID. And you can only imagine the trials and tribulations a lot of businesses were having as they were trying to just manage the day-to-day functions of their business getting through COVID. But I just felt a strong conviction to keep pushing no matter what. And I got to tell you that the Columbus way and the collaboration that and generosity from our city is like no other. We had some big organizations, lots of organizations step up for big time gifts, individuals as well. And I just got a lot more yeses than I did nos. The Wolf family stepped up for a lead gift of $2 million. We got Nationwide up for a huge gift, AEP, Huntington, Fifth Third Bank, the Columbus Foundation, Fiscal, so many great organizations in Central Ohio. We toured them through this old Milo Grogan club, showed them the vision, kind of drilled down a little bit at how positively this could affect so many kiddos in Central Ohio, and we were able to will it over the line. But I would not be here right now talking to you, and that Milo Grogan Club would not be built if it weren't for the collective generosity in our community. It's like no other, and there's a true spirit that got this deal over the line and got this Milo Grogan brand new Boys and Girls Club built.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's such an impressive story, and one that I think certainly resonates with many in the audience here today, who have an interest in giving back, just and donating both time and money to these great causes, like the Milo Grogan Boys and Girls Club. Anything that you could share that would sort of help individuals that are looking to do something impactful? What drives your belief in giving back, and more specifically, how do you identify, where to get started, how to spend your time, money, and really expertise?
Sure. That's a great question. I think there's a myriad of ways that an individual or a small business or a big business can get involved in giving back in their community. You hear like big checks and big dollars, but I think that thing that we all have to manage in our life is that TIME, and I don't think there's an organization that couldn't feel the benefit of people in the business community volunteering their time and their people just as much as their financial resources. There's so many places in Central Ohio that do need more help, more people, more dollars. We're particularly passionate about children and basic needs at the champion companies. I have 4 small kids. My sister and partner has 3 small kids, and it just feels like this calling that we need to get every kiddo in the community the same opportunities, no matter where they live, no matter what school district they're in. A kid in Olentangy schools or a kid in Columbus schools should get the absolute same resources as a kid in Columbus schools. So our focus is that. And if there's a way to help kids and basic needs, we're behind it. I guess my advice to an individual or a small business would be just jump into something that pulls on your heartstrings, and lend your time and give your heart, and you're gonna find it very, very rewarding. We love to serve meals at the YWCA as a business organization. Basic needs for women and children that are in interim housing, needing long-term fits. We build houses for Habitat for Humanity. There is just so many different ways to give back. And if you're like the champion companies and you're feeling the success of the last decade in Central Ohio, it's incumbent on all of us to, pay that forward in a way that benefits the greater community.
Yeah, no, thank you. That's great advice, and hopefully it spurs on some additional support to the community, in the coming year, even after COVID. Definitely, looking forward to giving back. So one final question. You mentioned kind of Champions had a lot of success over the last decade. What do you think's on the horizon in the future?
Yeah, I think the future's bright. We're excited. We're really feeling, don't want to ever say we're just 100% out of the woods, but feeling some real positive momentum in our economy and COVID behind us. We're always looking for new projects, new projects to lead, new projects to participate in. Right now, our focus is really, lending our team and actually just time and resources to this brand new Boys and Girls Club. I think it's going to be the nicest Boys and Girls Club in the country. It's going to have state-of-the-art facilities. Our building partner, Elford, I believe will have it ready to go sometime this fall. So, boy, if we could get more of the community down there to see it, experience it, play basketball with the kids, see what's going on and how this is positively affecting so many children, I think maybe there could be more clubs to follow. So we're very passionate. We have the Champion Cares Foundation that's given out millions of dollars already in our short run as owning a business. And we want to continue to use the Champion Cares Foundation and that philanthropic heart to help all those aforementioned places get to a better spot, so everybody can kind of feel that, empowerment and an enhanced life in our community.
That's great. Yeah, can't wait to see the facility. And if you need a good two guard, let me know. I'm down for a pickup game.
That's great, man. It's fun playing down there, and I'll tell you what. I think I might have to take you up on that because basketball is a great game, and this gym is going to be incredible. So maybe I'll see you down there, Matt. And thank you again to Smart Business and yourself for this opportunity. And I think it's great what you guys are doing and magnifying some of the great things going on in Central Ohio. And a big congratulations to all the Smart 50 winners. Well deserved.
All right. Thanks, Brian.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Congrats, Brian. Now, welcome one of my other colleagues from Highland, Phil Hine, to present the final award of the program.
Sustainability, or business continuity, is the ability of an organization to be built for the long haul. It's the direct result and combination of innovation and impact. This year's Sustainability Award winner is Scott Barber, President and CEO of Advanced Drainage Systems. Advanced Drainage Systems, or ADS, is the second largest recycler in North America. Under Scott's leadership, ADS approaches the company's future with two things in mind: ensuring the company is well positioned for future growth and that it serves as a responsible organization as it's related to environmental issues. This is the two-pronged definition of sustainability. Here are a few examples. ADS utilized 510 million pounds of used plastic to manufacture their pipes, developing systems to handle stormwater management in areas that flood. They were able to divert between 5 and 6 million pounds of plastic from landfills just in Columbus alone. And this happens without sacrificing any quality, revenue, or even operations. Congratulations, Scott. Well, Scott, congratulations on winning the Sustainability Award for the Smart 50. It's great to see you again.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. We're flattered. We're honored to be recognized. So thanks a lot, and we're glad to be here.
Well, Scott, it's awesome. I want to spend a couple minutes with you and just ask some questions relative to sustainability with ADS. So, what is the sustainability mission?
Well, our mission really starts with our reason is water, and to provide water management solutions to communities and provide unparalleled customer service. And it really kind of all starts with that. And as we've discussed in the past, Phil, it's been a journey for us to kind of move to this positioning and really begin to tell our sustainability story, which frankly we've been doing for quite a long time, but have now been able to position the company appropriately around that.
That's awesome. It's always encouraging when a company that they are what they are, right? And so sustainability has been a part of your mission for a long time, and it's just now you're telling the story. So that's wonderful. With that said, how do you balance the mission of sustainability with fiscal responsibility to ensure that the organization is profitable?
Well, I think that's the beautiful part about our story, because you just said it. This is what we've been doing for a long time. Managing water, managing stormwater, managing agricultural drainage. We do that with this very high recycling content. So what we've really done, and we've been a profitable company and a growing company for quite a number of years, what we've really been able to do is then take what we do naturally and then, I would say kind of reposition our messaging a bit. So it's just the course of what we do day in and day out. And in the fiscal responsibility, it kind of makes it easy because it's built into our P&L, to use recycled material. It's built into our P&L to sell water management products. And so that's worked out quite conveniently. And in doing that, we've been able to increase the profitability of the company at a pretty significant rate over the last couple of years. And it's been nice to be recognized for that in our markets. So I think we're on a bit of a roll here at ADS.
Yeah, it's just really encouraging to see ADS where the sustainability actually becomes a core piece of your fiscal responsibility. It's not something that you're trying to bake in or try to make it a part of it, but it really is an essential piece to how you operate. So maybe talk a little bit more in detail about the sustainable practices that you're involved in. Tell us the why and the how.
Yeah, that's really that's a good question, because it's really two things. It's how we design our products or design our solutions for good water management practices on a site. It rains, that water has to be taken off of that site in according to regulations for rate, storage, cleanliness, and our products do that. And we work with engineering firms, civil engineering firms, to design the best possible solution or system to do that. And I always use this example. It leads to a higher quality of life, because no one likes a street that floods, or if your yard floods or your subdivision floods, or there's flooding on your piece of property, maybe it's a commercial development. So when we design that well, it leads to a higher quality of life in that community, and that's important. Then the other piece of that is we do this with products that use a very high content of recycled plastic material. So we're recycling over 500 million pounds a year. We're the second largest recycler in North America. We're growing that activity with not only greater usage, but more investment in these recycling activities. And when we use these materials, these cast off or waste plastic, it comes out of the stream of recycling for 50 or more years. Because when our products are installed, they stay there quite a long time. They must be durable and resilient and meet all the specifications and regulations, and then they stay there a long time. So, when we recycle a detergent bottle or a shampoo bottle, it's there. It's out of the stream, and I think that's a very nice aspect of our particular recycling story versus, a packaged good or a water bottle or something like that, which is going through that cycle 3 or 4 times a year.
Gosh, I love it. I love the story, hearing it the second and third time. So, well, it seems to me that you're already a little relative to some of your counterparts. And yet I know that someone like you is thinking about what are the next steps, how are we plotting to do this into the future, and what is on the horizon. So could you tell me a little bit more about, what is in the future for ADS relative to sustainability?
Yeah, I put it in kind of 3 buckets that we think about. One is continuing to develop new products that, provide better solutions for stormwater management on a site. We're involved with 2 really nice, local projects right now. The Rapid 5 project that they're working that look at the 5 rivers here and what are ways to design a nice environmental and social aspect to feature those 5 rivers. And then we have a nice thing going on, with other, institutions in town that have projects going on where they want a very nice sustainable piece of that. So it's new product development, it's new solutions for those kinds of things. The second piece, and I mentioned it earlier, is to grow our recycling content, not only through fixed capital investment so we can do more of it, but material sciences so we can use wider variety of materials that might come from the waste stream. And we've worked with a lot of people locally around that too. Swaco is a great partner, lots of key insights team there. Then the third piece, which I didn't talk about as much earlier, but you might recall, Phil, that we have a pretty big fleet of trucks, a delivery fleet, and we deliver to job sites and agricultural fields. And we're working very hard to get better at, miles per gallon, route planning, proper equipment usage, so that we can decrease our greenhouse gas emissions from that fleet. There are other steps that we'll take in the future. These are kind of the right steps for us now. We're still getting up the curve in that part of our mission in our project work, but we had a very nice improvement in 2020 in our greenhouse gas emissions and in our route planning. And I see another good couple of years, working that program for us. And again, that all kind of ties in also to our fiscal responsibility, because when we do that well, we're doing a good job running our fleet, being efficient, using our materials, all that kind of stuff. So what I really like about the company is how that ties together quite naturally for us. And we're as we're quite proud of that and take any opportunity we can to speak about it.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just been awesome to get to know you and kind of know what your business is doing and how much value you put on being sustainable. You know, being operating at a very high level for a long period of time, and so you're not resting on your laurels. I mean, this is an encouragement to keep going and to keep doing what you're doing and dig deep. So, you know, again, congratulations on winning the Sustainability Award for the Smart 50 in 2021, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Okay, I appreciate it, and like you hit it right there, man. We still got lots to do, and lots of ways that we can improve, and we're really looking forward to that. It's quite fun.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Scott.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to all of our honorees, the members of the Smart 50 class of 2021, our specialty category award winners. Now, you truly represent the smartest organizations here in Central Ohio, and we want to thank you, and we want to thank our sponsors for helping select and present awards to such a great group of leaders. So once again, thank you to our presenting and title sponsor, Highland. And Chris, you are an amazing MC yet again, so thank you. Also, our great group of supporting sponsors, starting with Robert Half, Clark Schaefer Hackett, Northwest Bank, Greencrest, and for the videos today, Brandon Kroger.
Thank you to our team at Smart Business for their world-class efforts. On behalf of Highland, we're elated to have been presenting sponsor for this year's Smart 50. Let's hope this is the last virtual event we have to do in the foreseeable future. Keep safe, be well, God bless, and see you again next year. Back to you, Dustin.
Thank you, Chris. Great job co-emceeing today again. And ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Smart Business, I want to thank you for joining us here in this virtual environment for today's Smart 50 program. You've been a great crowd, and we look forward to seeing you again next year, but this time, fully in person. Have a great rest of the day.